Hello boys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my playthrough of Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. In the last episode, we began our adventure mode, trying to go for 100% completion. So, anyways, I'm going to be going for the aim, getting all the stuff, of course. In the last episode, we left off kind of stuck in mystery caves, unable to create the CTR challenge. Did some research and found out that the sea is right in this spot right here on the second jump. It's just very hard to see because of the color palette, which is what makes this the most annoying CTR challenge in the game. And this is in the first world too. In a darker color palette, it's much more considerably easy. Also, if you stop and go to right with a blade turn, there's a Beanox crate you can break. Which, if you break that and then finish the race in first place, you'll get a little secret. I saw that a couple of times, so I was interested in going for it, so that's why I'm going to go for it now. I recommend only doing this on classic or easy mode of Nitro Field, otherwise it'll be too difficult. So anyways, the second jump is where you want to look for the sea. Right there. Very difficult to see. Not necessarily the hardest letter, too, just the most obnoxious to get in the way. There's also a turtle jump that has to be done that's really difficult initially. And on top of that, of course, you have the CPUs to deal with as well. It can get in your way if you're not careful. Once you get all, like I said, I usually recommend getting all the letters, and if you're going for the Beanox crates, I guess, because those are a new thing in this game. So that's what makes Nitro Field apart from the original, is that there are new hidden collectibles in the adventure mode, and all of the adventure mode unlockables can be unlocked based off of which difficulty you do. Again, I'm doing this on classic mode because this is easier than doing it on hard or medium on Nitro Field mode. Nitro Field mode allows you to take your customizations, while original limits you, or classic limits you to the default locations. Yeah. Again, because this blends into the background, it's very easy to miss the C in this challenge if you're not careful. Pretty much requires full memorization in order to get it. So getting the Beanox crate should open a little secret, so we'll see what happens later. Oh, and yes, there's also other little challenges that could be done on every track. We'll do our best to do all of the challenges, so that means there's actually a new time attack and marine rally that have to be done as well, so lots of stuff to do in this game. Rather than labeling the game based off of items, I'm just going to call this into 100% and not use any parts and just simply say Adventure Mode Part 1 or something else. Which means we won't have any iconic titles, but it's better than nothing. Now, the one thing you may have missed at the intro is there's a unique introduction where I believe that when you first play, the game introduces you to a couple of characters as you go through the game and do stuff. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Yeah, again, because you are forced to select each challenge in order, CTR challenge is always first, so you can sometimes mess up in this way too. My second time already doing this, by the way. Wonder how many more times I'm going to need to do this. Probably a ton, because so far we've done it a ton, and I don't like it one bit. Now again, regardless of which difficulty you play, the relics are the same every single time, so definitely can. Very obnoxious, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, you don't get teleported directly to the area after you finish the CTR challenge. You kind of just get given the token normally, so you do have to end the time driving all the way back there. So, yeah. Also, there's apparently new golden coins that could be found throughout the game. So let's try and get them. Ugh. They're pretty difficult to get while going fast, though. Ugh. Gosh dang it. How are we supposed to get on there anyways? I know that's a secret too that can be picked up, but why did they have to put it like that without even having a jump at all? Are you expected to have a power for that? I honestly don't know. Since that isn't required for 100%, we're probably not going to do it, but maybe later we'll come back to it in the near future. Overall, that was not a good run whatsoever. Not only did we do the shortcut kind of bad, but done the rest of the course bad as well, bonking on a lot of turns. Also, some of the times have been improved for some of the gold relics too, so they're necessarily free to get. They're all pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I probably may have not even gotten Sapphire there. That was pathetic. We'll try again, but actually play good this time. Not really much way to get that crate other than doing that. Oh yeah, you can bounce over the crates too sometimes. Gosh dang it, that probably killed the run right there. Did I forget to mention some of these are very difficult to do if you don't know what to do? I don't even like that start, screw that. Gonna restart that immediately. That was pathetic. There we go, that's much better. Best way to get through that, probably. You know what? What? Ugh. I quick flipped. Oh my gosh! Stop it! Ugh. Jeez, I'm failing so badly at just a freaking relic challenge. These are supposed to be simple, but not. They're actually the most challenging spot. Again, this is the first warp room. Why is it this challenging? I know I'm bad, but man, I thought I was better than that. Sheesh Louise. I'll just reverse it to this spot. How about that? Sheesh. Very bad. Come on, I need to do better than this. Usually I get these races on the first try if I were playing the original, but nope. Today, apparently. Yeah, this might be a cutout or two. It depends. For the purposes, since it's easy enough, I think I'm gonna not cut it out, just so that we could all learn how to play better and how to not suck, because, well, think it's better to see that. It's just too bad because my initial playthrough always starts out so well, and then everything other than that just becomes terrible. Again, like, I already don't care that I'm missing crates, because you don't need all of them to get the gold and or platinum occasionally. You just to deal with the stuff in the normal strategy. Yeah. And in case you didn't already notice, the turtles are terrible in this version of the game, so definitely do not bounce on them if you want a fast time, because they waste quite a bit of time getting you up into the air and then doing lemon strategies that just slow you down in general, so definitely not recommended to go for. Honestly, I don't know why I'm playing so bad. Usually I at least avoid all the traps, but this is just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I don't like it one bit. Barely broke that. Of course, with the slightly more difficult to hit hitbox, that also kind of hurts my playstyle of going through and hangings, especially for every miss I do. Sheesh. Fortunately, I'm probably just gonna have to take the time trial and hope that it's enough for gold. Usually the golds are pretty easy in this kinds of games, but for this game, this track, I honestly don't know. Oh, barely won it in the end. Thank gosh I went for it. Like I said, you don't need to collect all the crates on all of those. However, if you ever do manage to get all the crates and not suck like me, you'll get a 10-second bonus at the end, and that'll be more than enough to get you a platinum, usually, if you're not bad. But because they are all harder to hit, it becomes a lot slower because you can't really power slide while doing them, so definitely a very challenging game in that matter, but when you're not doing the wild challenge, this is a pretty easy game to beat through, in my opinion. Also, this is being played on the Switch version. I'll be doing all the stuff, but not on the online, since most players prefer to play on either PS4 or PC just because of having faster load times and being better overall. So, for this event, I'll just be trying to get all of the gold so that I can get the maximum percentage possible. Later on, I will be getting the platinum on all the levels. I may still try and go for all the crates on some of them, but go ahead, primary focus, since you don't need them all to get gold. Gold can mostly just be gotten on your own. It's platinum that's very difficult. And you can occasionally earn a couple of free platinums too if you play really amazingly well. The tracks, some of the tracks, if you just do the C-Rod, you'll auto-plat it by default if you have a fast enough time. Okay. Well, after that pain, let's hope for a better easiness in Sewer Speedway, because this is supposed to be the hardest of the levels here in the first warp, but it could end up being the easiest if we do stuff right. Wow, the secret shortcut done on the first try. Nice. I thought I would practice that just to make sure we get stuff and whoops. Ran right into the side there. I saw a Beanox crate in the end though, so I might go for that on a later lap. I think the second one requires that you go slower. I was so far ahead that I could slow down to get this letter and still be in first place. That's what makes the difference from easy to hard. In hard, you pretty much have to do a perfect loop around that to get it, otherwise you just straight up don't win the race after that. Of course, we're still not done yet, though. Since I saw that Beanox crate now, we have to get that as well. Of course, that would be bad if I played terribly there. And got bad luck, by the way, with those missiles. It'd be nice to maybe get some good luck. Maybe? Maybe not. Yeah, now I definitely can't take the shortcut. You need a lot of speed to take it, otherwise this happens. Of course, as soon as I said that, I had to stop around for that letter. I played very pathetic afterwards. And another stupid missile. Oh my gosh, how many missiles are there? You know what? That's gonna be a restart. So, technically I sucked there. And that's all because of the letter problems there. So let's try not to let that happen this time and actually get the letters properly this time. In case you didn't know, that was obviously not the way to get that letter. To get that letter, you have to basically go around the right edge of this area, which I'll show you right now. It's considerably slower than going for the middle route, but it'll let you get it a lot quicker. As a result of that, I'm probably not going to go for the secret at all. I'm getting bad luck as well. Like I said, this still has a little bit of luck in it. But most of the skill is in dodging these stuff, which I'm not even dodging at all. Oh my gosh, that's excellent. Also, since they're technically based off of cycles, it's possible that you may not be able to evade them anyways, even if you tried. But still, I wish I could play a little bit better than this, because honestly, this is pathetic. There we go, second try on that letter. So if we get more, we get one chance to go for the Beanox crate. That was pathetic, by the way. I went all the way around the side, yet I still didn't do good enough to get that second shot there. Fine. Now I just have to win. That's good enough. Again, I'm running into the stupid barrels. I swear, it seems like the barrels are much harder to dodge in this version of the game. In the original, they seemed much easier to avoid. Or is that just me? I don't know. Again, you need to keep this all the way to the end and kind of go up from the upright like that. That is how you get to the secret shortcut. You go pretty fast for this tunnel, so the Beanox crate can easily be missed. I think the Beanox crate unlocks an item as far as I know. But I'm guessing we don't need them for 100%, but I'm guessing we also do, so I'll try to get those later, maybe in one of the single races. Since you could get them technically in any race, I guess we can deal with that way. Ugh. I can't believe that took more than a few tries. That should have been first try every time, but I was just playing really bad.
Dingo, dingo.
Make sure I select Relic Race this time. Alright. This is objectively one of the hardest time trials in normal gameplay, since there's boxes literally all over the place. So we're going to do something more interesting for this time trial. We're just gonna YOLO it, forget about all the boxes, and, well, I guess if I... Never mind, that was way too bad. I need to make sure I at least get subs, so let's try this again, but actually get those successes this time. But for here on out, I'll be just ignoring most of the boxes, since you don't need all of them, like I said, to gold, so you just focus on doing this stuff. Seems like I can't even do like a simple little slide or power slide without getting bumped off or something. Very annoying. You have to do like a curve, by the way, to get all these boxes. Come on. Oh, and then there's these boxes up here. I'm gonna go for the secret next. Probably the easiest way to do this fast is to just go for the secret right away, but after I wasn't able to build speed and get boxes all at once, it got a little bit annoying, so I decided to stop it. By the way, if you use any speed going over this, you won't even have a chance to make it. You have to both play very perfectly enough to keep your speed to out-turn, and then go over a jump and get through all the stuff, because that's why Speedway is super difficult. Fastest way to play through this, getting all the stuff, is to simply reset and the moment you miss the circuit, and then when you get a perfect jump at least once, then you could just go straight for that. But yeah, and figures, yeah, I don't get CRCA first try, even though don't even go for all the strategies, and I even missed the start boost so many times. Oh my gosh, can I just get it at least once maybe? If you lose that boost, by the way, you don't make that thing, so you pretty much have to hit that little zipper and then keep the boost for the entire area, which you can only do by... Finally got the start boost, by the way. That took long enough to get. Another pathetic attempt. Oh my gosh, can I like get anything done? Jeez. You don't need this to get sent, so we may skip this, but I need the gold, and so I don't know if I could do this without paying tricks for gold. Screw this, I'm just gonna go for the choice and see what I get. Says that as he misses every single box in the... Oh my gosh, can I at least hit something? Screw it, never mind. I'm gonna have to rail this track until I get good enough to actually play good at this game. My gosh, again. You know what? This time I'm not gonna go for it at all. I kind of lied the first time I did the thing, but now I'm actually gonna make this a legit attempt. Usually you want to go for the secret right away, but if you get this bad of a jump... Ooh, I got one of the hardest boxes somehow. Oh, well, despite any bad luck elsewhere. Of course, I have to get hit by that thing. It's only normal to suck and get hit by anything. There's that box right there as well. Oh my gosh, can I stop running into every single thing and actually get somewhere for once? Yeah, 24 crates out of that. That's absolutely pathetic. Let's reset this attempt and try again, but actually get enough crates this time. And you can see why Sewer Speedway is the hardest. And keep in mind, all of this is taking place in the very first world of the game. This is supposed to be the easiest world in the game, but it's actually, it contains one of the toughest challenges in the entire game as a result. There we go. Now I finally got up there. The reason why you want to get up there is because there's several boxes up here, including that, and a Phoenix crate, and it also lines you up perfectly for one of the other crates later. From here on out, though, I'm not going to play different. So, I'm just going to focus on getting the crates. Because of this, you can't really optimize power sliding as much in this track, because if you do, you just miss boxes, because that's what happens. I need to remember which ones I did first. Okay, good. Gonna go for this troll box first, then head up to the right and get this one. Head up, down to get these two. Slow down on purpose to get that. Yeah, as Dingodile, you may be going too fast for some of the boxes. Coming to almost a complete stop to get that one. And then this one. Very awful box, very easy to miss if you're not careful. Why couldn't I do this earlier, by the way? Why couldn't I do this earlier? This is so much better now than what I did last time. Okay, now it's gonna be center, and then middle right, and I have to react to this next. Nope. Ooh. Oh, I barely got that one. This should still work out. This should still work out. That's not gonna really make a difference. Wait a minute, I'm actually gonna do it. Really? After all these tries, I'm gonna get a platinum? Seriously? Yes, I did it! Holy crap. Didn't mean for it to happen that way, but we got a platinum anyway. Way to punish that race, Dingodile. After failing miserably, we just go ahead and get a platinum. Had to play very slowly for that, but we made it work. We should probably power slide less during those courses from now on if we're going for platinum. And I think I'm going to definitely try and break all the crates from now on. Again, I'm still not going to reset if I don't get all of them, because you could still technically get them. This is definitely probably one of the hardest platinums in the game, by the way. And considering I got it on video, but not any of the others, just says something pretty crazy, eh? Okay, so with all of those done, we can finally move on to the second warp. That took long enough. So for the third and fourth warps, we're probably just going to go for those as fast as possible and literally just go for all the regular races instead. Not going to use the save TV yet because you don't need it really. Look at all the stuff that's here. Honestly, the remake of this game looks a lot more prettier than I first expected. So this is going to be the last warp we do 100% for a little while, and then in warp 3 and 4 we're just going to go straight to the end, since you are required to do that in order to unlock all of the other stuff. But then from there we're going to continue the game as we would in a normal playthrough. Or at least as I would do it. 100%ing warps 1, warp 2, and warp 3, and then defeating nitrous oxide and going back to 100% everything else, and then once everything is gotten in terms of platinums, we'll fight oxide. As for what I'm going to do to fix stuff, that's easy. I'll just get some of the missing platinums that I got off screen, since this game, they probably are actually required to unlock characters, so I'm gonna play it safe and make sure I get platinum every race, but I'm not gonna do that on stream because that takes way too long. Again, there's other videos you can watch of that. I'm trying to change this, but I can't seem to figure out what changes this. Yeah, fine. I'm trying to change this back between the original Nitro Field drift ride, just because I have a much easier time doing stuff. Okay, so after all that craziness, we have Coco Park, arguably one of the easiest tracks in the game for doing a drifting, which kind of shows how you're supposed to play the game fast. Literally just go left, right, left, right, over and over again, and just do that as much as you can. If you're not playing as a speed character, you want to do that as much as possible. If you're playing as a speed character with Dingodile, then you could do that hop trick to deserve momentum. In fact, I'll kind of show it to see what you can potentially get. Doesn't seem to offer much of a speed increase in here, but since none of these races really have any requirement, it's better to just go for a fast time in each of these races so we can get it over with as soon as possible. If we do see a Beanox crate, though, we may go out of the way for it, since it's easier to do so in the trophy races to unlock stuff. Yeah. Again, this is 100%, so we're going to be getting everything in here, in this game. We will be showing off most of the single-player modes. I should have mentioned that. So, you've been hearing about a new rain rally in the game. That will be something that I do. The only thing I don't do is anything involving multiplayer or online.
To open this door, you must come in first place.
Yeah, I know that. There we go. I think they improved a lot of the characters' turning speeds in this game. Even Dingodile, the ones that are built for speed, seem to have more turn power than they did in the original game. In the original game, it was much worse. They hardly turned at all, but again, they did drive faster when in a straight line, so as long as you keep a boost, it's definitely really fast. Sorry if I'm skipping all the intros, but I'd rather not deal with them after. We could probably just go for this game doing stuff as fast as we can. And there are some big shortcuts you could do a lot of the races if you're quick enough. This is one of the first real shortcuts in the game that most beginners will take. Get a very random item that's good enough, you could potentially go to the side upward part right in a specific spot and get it. Obviously, Nitro and TNT crates are not one of the things we're looking for, so a little bit unfortunate luck at the beginning, but never had this bad luck, by the way. Literally just non-stop TNT and Nitros. I know they're very common, but I didn't think they would be this common. Oh my gosh, again a Nitro. It's like 5 or 6 of them in a row. Thankfully you don't need them to win, but later on we'll need them to take a secret later on, which is required for this is what I was looking for. We throw that forward, we just take a big shortcut that skips about a big long turn in this level and get a lot quicker. From the looks, hopping doesn't really work as good. Unfortunately. Okay, we're still doing pretty well so far. We're definitely improving quite a bit.
Congratulations! you win a trophy.
Okay, so far the game has definitely been very fun. Now, I am doing this as quickly as possible, mostly so that when I go and play this with my friends, that I will unlock items for myself in this mode. All of that will be unlocked off camera, of course, but it's much better than doing anything else, because then we'll be able to unlock more characters, therefore. So definitely gonna try and get a lot done, though I'm not sure if I'll finish the 100% or not. If I do, that'll be cool. But you're probably not gonna see all of the characters attained until probably moments later, but because it's quite a bit of characters and customizations to unlock. In fact, there's hundreds of customizations to unlock, and at least like 50 plus characters in this game, so definitely something fun. I may try out one of the new characters later, depending on what we get. Alright, and now we have Papua's Pyramid, one of the more unfortunate tracks for Dingodile. As Dingodile, you have to do a lot of specific tricks, whether it be doing a minor skip or doing something else. Ooh, barely made that. That little chick skips one of the turns of this area, but it's not really hard to do, but it can be a little bit annoying if you don't know what to do. In the original game, you could skip that turn completely, do a corner cut by doing a couple of tricks. Yeah. That's probably one of the bests that I'll do with Dingodile. If you had any other character, it would be much more easier to do turns on that. Ah, almost did the trick. Getting up there is the fastest way to go for that. And also, here comes the trick. Woo, we did it. That's actually probably one of the easier corner cuts in the game, though. It saves about 10 seconds and a lot of pain, so against Papu and the CTR race and whatnot, we're gonna do this on every lap if we can, since that will save a ton of time if we do so. There's also other cuts you could do as well, like this thing that I'm trying to do right here. If you were to do this perfectly and then follow that up with a trick, you can instantly get a bunch of speed from that. And then you could jump on that as well. You do need some speed for this, but it's pretty easy if you do drifting. Like, if you know how to drift, that's pretty easy. Each one of those cuts about a few minutes for the race. As a result, Papua's Pyramid ends up being one of the easier races. Normally a race that takes around minutes actually makes it one of the easier races in the game, which also makes Papu one of the easiest bosses in the game by default. All of the bosses before that are probably more difficult, because there are not many tricks to do. Now, originally, if you faced off against Nitrous Oxide, there was another trick you could do. If you're playing on the PlayStation 1 version of the game, a more original version of Crash Team Racing, there was a big skip you could do that skipped over a bunch of Oxide Station completely. That could make your times really fast. It was pretty complicated to do, but it skipped a lot of the track if you can do that. It's so fast that even if you failed it a little bit, you still wanted to go for it, because getting it once in a run was enough to put you ahead of the CPUs easy. Of course, now in the remake, that's been fixed, so no reason to do that. The corner cut does still work in Papua's Pyramid, so that's why I'm going to be going for that on all of the tricks. There used to be a much trickier cut you could do that cuts out even more of the track. Unfortunately, that's been removed, so we have to basically do the normal corner cut. I should probably be explaining some of these levels while I go on a little bit more, so I think I'll start doing that. Yeah. So this is Dingle Canyon. It has some pitfalls, but it's not really difficult. Of course, despite being Dingle's track, this is yet another track where Dingodile struggles a lot with the turns, so we're gonna once again have to do some really good tech to go through this.
I'll fry you!
Right there, that's one of the worst turns in the game as Dingodile right there. Getting that turn perfectly takes a lot of practice. Very unfortunate so far. There's not a lot of room for drifting in this course, so not much you can do to speed up your art, unfortunately. Okay, we made that back pretty quickly, I think. Surprisingly, that turn didn't really go as bad as I expected. I thought it would be a lot worse than that, but made it work. That's kind of a funny finish. Getting a TNT and then crossing the finish line. Oh well. It was fun though. Alright, time for the easiest boss battle in the game now. Papua. Simply because of the corner cut. If you did not do that, he would be much trickier. But if you do it, the fight's pretty easy. So we're obviously going to go for everything and just hope for the best. You do need speed to get around the first two secrets, but by hopping you can preserve that speed quite a bit.
Dingo, dingo, dingo!
Originally, when you played the game, you weren't intended to take both secrets.
Papua much tired of watching puny slugs race so slow. Papua wanting action to lay Bull down big and prove Papua is world's best driver. Papua moves so fast, you munch tracks.
Even his cutscene, everyone's cutscene has definitely been improved a lot. Papua is no exception to that, which is nice. Originally, I believe you unlocked nitrous oxide by doing a series of quick races. I think in this game you probably unlock them for finishing this adventure mode with 100% completion, but I could be wrong. I never know. There's definitely some stuff you unlock by finishing adventure mode, but other than that, I don't really know much. Now, because I did this on a specific file, I do technically have already finished some of the courses on easy. If you try and go for drifts on this, it doesn't work really well, so don't go for it. And here you'll see what Papu does. He throws bottles everywhere that slow you down. And that's his little mechanic there. They're pretty much everywhere.
Move over, mate.
Ooh, barely made the corner cut. Once you make the corner cut once, Papu becomes a pretty easy boss. Though we could get a little bit more ahead a lot quicker if we were to play better than this. Okay, good. That was a really good turn, despite how bad it could be normally. Okay, we're doing this a lot better. I don't know why I left that in the shortcut. That was probably a bad idea. I'll probably hit that as we go back. But I'll remember it somehow. All of the portraits have definitely improved for all the characters as well. Papu is no exception. City Hunky with this remake version. Still went for it anyway, knowing that, but to be fair, it's very hard to change my mode of
You call that racing?
since I was used to doing that trick a lot, it'd be hard to finish.
Papu not himself today. Maybe Papu not eating a big breakfast. You are fast for being so small. Here's key to help.
That's
Oxide much bigger problem for you. Him not as big, but him much more grumpy.
that was probably one of my favorite cutscenes so far for the bosses. Papu is just so comical when he does that. I like him. It's crazy. Now, since you can do the races in any order, this is where things are going to change up a little bit. Instead of doing the Crystal Challenge right away, we're going to do stuff based off of the position on our world. Since we are positioned closest to Papu's pyramid, we'll do that next. I really like what they did with unlocking the new areas. Like the fact that he's just used themselves. Makes it a lot easier. Oh wow, this took us right to the area. How about no? Okay, never mind. I'll just go to whatever race is closer then. That means we are actually going to do one thing in Dingodile Canyon first. That was weird. The menu popped up right after I went into the CTR race. Was that a glitch? I think so. That definitely was not intended, but we'll make it work. I'm kind of surprised I failed some of the CTR races. Some of them are annoying, but most of the time they are the easier part of the game, since all you have to do after collecting CTR is to just win. It's usually pretty easy, but because of the covered palette of that one course, it was really hard to see where the CTR letters were. So definitely something that I don't like, so gonna make sure to wait to do that. Alright then, we're gonna go for this track now and try and get the CTR letters.
Move over, mate.
Perfect C grab, by the way. That was a nice start. I was hoping to get maybe a good boost, but of course I get unlucky with the items again. Yeah, that's right. Let's get a mask to improve our speed quite. Okay, so forget where the T is, but I believe you could get it from one of these spots. Okay, we got it. Oh, barely stayed on the track after that. Ah, missed the R. Oh, that was nice. Gave you another chance at it. Got it on the second try. So we're behind early on, but it's better to have all the letters than to not have all the letters to be in first place. We can always get first place later once we get stuff. Sometimes when you try and throw the TNT cray off, it doesn't always work in this version. Sometimes it'll go off, sometimes it won't. Kind of unfortunate disadvantage of playing this game, but hey, it's alright. Trying to slow down so that I can maybe hit the boost after this turn, but nope. Very unfortunate. Getting very bad luck so far. I haven't even been able to catch up to the leader. Usually, see how this never happens. So this could actually be on medium difficulty. I don't know yet. But usually this game is set on easy mode when playing against the classic enemies. And that despite that, engine's so far ahead. Usually that doesn't happen. Okay, well, just because of that, I'm gonna have to restart that. Very annoying. Okay, let's try and get a good R glab. Maybe not fall off as much. That's what I was trying to do. Oh, much better start, by the way. Did not get bombed immediately like I did last time. Jeez Louise, that was very painfully unlucky. Okay, we didn't get the T that time, but to be fair, the T's kind of in a tricky spot. Okay, got the R at least first try, so now we can focus on trying fast until we get to that spot. Alright, well now I am in first place, but I need to make sure I get the item this time around. I actually don't mind that. I need to slow down anyways. It's a little quick turn to get this T a little bit easier. It is slower to do it this way, but it's much safer. Now with that done, the race should be ours at this point. We just need to... now. I will say that was pretty unfortunate that I lost to the easy CPU, considering I only beat this CPU every time, so that's saying something. That was probably just bad luck, to be honest, though, considering I got hit very early on. When I normally stay in the lead all the time, I got hit by a bomb. And then other stuff, and also just played badly throughout the track.
You call that racing?
And there we go. So, I guess that would be the end of the episode then. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And I hope to bring you more videos of this in the future. Again, this is Crash Team Racing Nitro Field, being played on a Nintendo Switch. Not on PC. I could play it on PC and it'd probably be a lot faster, but I won't do that. Here's the thing though. I may or may not still play the Insane Trilogy version, but if I do that, I may actually consider playing that on PC, just so that it's a little bit faster in load times overall, because the PC loads incredibly quickly, so it'll probably be better for the reasons of just being good, though I do have the Switch version as well. Alright, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.